Hello, everybody. Welcome to another little series episode of Listen Along. Today, I'm listening to Emphatically No. It's Emphatically No. My autocorrect did a big old empathetical there. So Emphatically No. I'm listening to it by Cheekface with Greg. With Greg from Cheekface.
Hello.
Yeah, you can't see Greg right now. You will be able to momentarily, but I want to get a little bit of a spiel out at the beginning if you've never listened along with us before. Thank you for the subscribe with Prime, Crunchy GLA5S. And Small Red Boy says, hi, Greg. Hi, Will. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So, if you've never listened to this before, if you've never watched the stream or anything, we're going to be sitting here and listening through the entirety of at least Emphatically No. I talked to Greg beforehand, and I pitched also listening to Therapy Island, which is the release from 2019.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. And we might just do both of them. So we'll see where we get to. I'm excited. I like this band a lot. We'll get back to that when you can actually see Greg. But you will need to open a streaming provider of your choice. I use the Green app, but I do not endorse nor is this a sponsor or anything like that. I'm bringing up this image. So first, we visit the band's website, Bandcamp or whatever. Purchase the album and merch if you can, or you can wait until after we do the listen along. You know, if you're concerned about taste, I believe you're sold completely out of vinyl. But you can...
It's gone.
It's all gone, but you can still purchase the album digitally. You can do a digital download, or you can get some merch, which if you type !listen in the chat, it will bring up a link to Cheekface's Bandcamp, as well as a link to their merch page, which has the pre-order for the sweatpants, which I think are sold out also.
Yeah, the sweats are gone, but there's two t-shirts up there still,
and the jersey style shirt, which remind me. Oh gosh, I'm not going to remember. Greg, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this on stream. I want the jersey shirt. The shipping, I can't get it for less than like $7 on the shipping.
Yeah, you know, we like. I wanted to price the shipping into the thing so that, you know, people wouldn't be like, oh shit, the shipping costs more. But unfortunately, this platform we're using makes that impossible. So we did reduce the price that we were going to charge for the shirt to make sure the shipping didn't go too crazy. But those shirts are super expensive. This is not a product that we're making hella money on.
Oh yeah, no worries. No,
it's just a really cool shirt. So
I'm just saying.
Sorry that the shipping is $650. It is $650. Don't be shocked. The shipping is $650.
It's okay. But it's a great shirt. I want it. The reason I'm bringing it up, Greg, I'm not bringing it up because I think it's too much and like, how dare you? The reason I'm bringing it up is because we're both LA based, and I want to know, do you still do your own fulfillment?
No.
Oh, damn it. You did it on the last run though, didn't you?
I know. Well, we've been fulfilling everything up to the album release, and we released the album, and then we had over 1,000 merch orders that I had to ship out of my living room, and it took me 2 months. And I thought it was going to be easy because I was like, well, you know, I'll just like combine them together, but it ended up being like, if someone bought 3 different items and they arrived at different times from the different manufacturers, then it was like, oh, am I shipping them all separately? And then the vinyl itself, you know, the plant was like, this is going to be done in April, and I was like, holy shit, now I need to at least ship the shirts to people who bought the shirts separately. So then I was doing what became one order became multiple orders, and then the vinyl actually came way early, so it came at like beginning of February, and I was like, fuck, I could have just kept the shirts and shipped it all together. So anyways, it became too complicated, and so we handed it off to a merch company, and the merch company is doing a great job, but the only downside is that I can't include the shipping prices in the total cost of the garments. So sorry, the shipping costs are not utterly transparent. You have to go through a click and then you find out how much they are.
It's that's really okay. I was hoping that you did your own fulfillment so I could be like, hey, can I just
drive by and grab one? Yeah, sorry.
No worries. Now I know. And now I know I have to go through the same avenue as everyone else. That's fine. I can do that. I really want the shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great shirt.
I'll happily give you one for free, but
no, Greg.
but I can't advertise them for free to the whole ass internet.
No, you're fine. I got it. I can pay for it. It's okay. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, check out the merch. I like it a lot. This is also a cheekface shirt. I don't think this is available anymore.
Those are gone.
They're gone. They were also great. I like this a lot. And I'm glad that you have a company doing your fulfillment and everything now too, because I know that can get like extremely overwhelming. So I think it's a good move.
Yeah, thanks. You know, I was one of those, like, if we were doing 50 of something, it would be okay because we could sell right out of it. And then it's just like 1 hour of packing and shipping things. But keeping stuff in stock, like, as y'all probably know, is just like, you know, just like getting the right sizes and, you know, making sure you have the shipping supplies. And then, you know, it's not hard to ship like 50 things in one shot, but it is kind of hard to ship like, you know, one thing a day. Like that actually kind of like screws up your day. And then like, you don't want like people waiting 2 weeks because they ordered on the wrong day. You know, it sucks. So thank you to the universe for delivering us from self-fulfilled merch.
Some other people in the chat here. Brett Turby says hi, Star. Oh, Starstream is here. Hi. Oh, and then they're all saying hi to each other. Everyone's saying hi, Greg, and hi, Will. Hi, Red. Oh, I see.
Hello, everyone. I should really pull up the Twitch so that I see what's going on.
It's all good. Oh, thank you, Catherine Conspiracy, for the sub with Prime. Thank you so much. Crunchy asks, when are the Abolish the Police shirts being shipped? I don't know exactly when those are being shipped. They're just in pre-order at the moment. But this is actually, that's a good transition. I'm going to go back to the talk screen here. So we're doing a run of Abolish the Police shirts right now. The Abolish shirts, it's in pre-order and signed vinyl raffle. This is with Glass Beach. You can type !abolish in the chat and it will take you to the landing page on the Run for Cover store. So this is the shirt. This is the design. You can see right here. And then we have the signed vinyl, which is right there. And that is the glow in the dark one over here. And we have the test press over here. The winner will get the test press and a glow in the dark, and the runner-up for the raffle will get a glow in the dark press. They're all signed by all 4 members of the band, and also Dax, the artist who did the album cover and did all the album art with Jay for the actual pressing of the vinyl and everything. And Dax also does like all of our art and is essentially like the 5th member of the band. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm excited about that. !abolish in the chat. You can enter the raffle as many times as you want. It's $5, like just $5 to enter the raffle, and you might get a chance to win these. And then I think if in increments of like, if you get 5 tickets instead, it's like $20 or something. And then if you get 10 tickets, it's $35. So it scales like back incrementally. But you can check that out. Enter if you can, if you have the means. All of the money. We're going to produce the shirts and everything at complete cost to us. We're not going to cover the cost with any of the money that you give us. It's all going to be donated to Project Nia and also to organizers in the Minneapolis communities who are on the ground directly in those communities, making sure the funds get to where they need to go. So I would hope you check this out. This is only going until tomorrow at midnight. So like Sunday evening, like at night, midnight, as soon as like Monday hits, it's done. So you got 2 days. Check that out. All right. Thank you. And I don't know when the stuff is going to be fulfilled and everything. I'm sorry, but it'll happen. Run for Cover is the one to do all of that stuff. We don't do any of it. Yeah. Oh, this person says I'm wearing my finest cake shirt in celebration of this event. Is that a comment on the similarities between cheekface and cake, or is this just?
Some have said, people are saying that these bands are similar.
Yes. Okay. So hello, everybody. I think we're going to pretty much get into it. Right here, I'm checking this out. We're on this page where I've created little circles for Greg and myself. And you will see the Bandcamp for Cheekface. That's all of their music that they have. I'm looking at their discography page, and and you know what? That pesky email thing is up. Don't email my burner, please. Hold on. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, just send it again. Send it again so you go away. Done. Cool. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for not emailing my burner. That would be great. Okay. Anyway, so just go here, ! Listen. It'll take you to their Bandcamp. And you can check it out at the end. I encourage you to purchase the albums if you like them, or even if you don't. I encourage you to buy and support the bands that I have on this stream. All right, shall we get into listening? Shall we do it?
Let's freaking rock.
There we go. Let us indeed. So I made a custom overlay for you. I'm doing it for every band now, I guess.
Wait, I have the video paused, so I'm not like
no worries.
My bandwidth.
Yeah, you can check it out afterwards. So, no problem.
Yeah, I see my custom overlay. Yo, that's hard.
Yeah, I was gonna gush about you earlier, but I didn't have you on screen, so I thought that would be weird. One last check: are Greg and I leveled audio wise? Because that's kind of hard to figure out in OBS.
Am I reasonably loud compared to William?
We've got a yes. Seems good, says Overzealous.
Yes, we love to see it.
Okay, cool. Is there anything you want to talk about right off the bat here at the top?
I'm really grateful to be here, and thank you for those who are tuning in. And I don't know, not to belabor the point because I say this whenever anyone brings it up, but this project was not made with the intention of ever reaching anybody. So the fact that it reaches anyone at all is just a continuous shock to me.
Well, I'm glad that you decided to start it because I really fucking love your music. I do.
Thanks so much. That means a lot.
I mean, if you ask any of the other members of the band, they admit that I lately haven't been able to shut up about you. So I'm just a fan, and now we're gonna listen to some music. So the way that this is gonna go, I have on the side here, over here, you see what's happening. We're listening to music. This is for the chat and also for the both of us. I mean, maybe to calm your mind. I don't know, Greg. But no negativity, no criticism, constructive or otherwise. There are spaces for constructive criticism. Don't get me wrong. I find it very valuable. This is not one of those spaces today. I'm just here to talk about the things that I like. I like these albums a lot. I'm going to enjoy listening to them, and I'm going to enjoy hearing what Greg has to say, and I hope you all will do the same.
Personally, I love vanity searching Cheekface on Twitter and seeing someone being like, man, this band Cheekface is the most annoying shit I've ever seen. So if you need a place to vent where you can be sure I'll see it, just put it out there on Twitter, and you can be sure it'll reach me.
And if you want to do the same with Glass Beach, I check all the indirects for that as well. And then lastly here, check out the bands yourself afterwards. Again, if you have the means, support, do that kind of thing, and just vibe, because that's what we're going to do. Cool. Well, the last thing here, everybody, like I said before, you're going to have to pull up a streaming service or something on your own. I'm going to give a 3, 2, 1 go for the sync. You're going to hit play when I say go. On go, you hit play. And that should sync us all up. I'll be synced with Greg. Greg will be synced with me. We'll all be synced with you. This will also be going up on the second Glass Beach channel on YouTube as a VOD afterwards. All of the episodes that I've done so far of this are actually up on that channel in a playlist called Listen Along. I did Alchemist Rat's Beg Bashful remixes for the first one, Melee by Dogleg with Alex and Chase from Dogleg. I did Graceful Rage with Harmony Woods, with Sophia from Harmony Woods, and I've done I Became Birds by Home Is Where with Brandon from Home Is Where. And all of those are on there. You can check all of those out. If at any point you find yourself listening to one of those albums and you're like, oh, I really want to hear what Greg had to say about this Cheekface album or whatever, you can put this on, sync it up with the 3, 2, 1 go, and you should be able to have this basic listening experience all over again. Or for the first time if you missed the stream. Cool. Highlighted message from Rodhams. Hope you are all having a great day. Thank you.
This is the best part so far.
Yeah, I agree. and you know what? I'm just excited for what's to come.
You know what? Is it going to get better? We're about to find out.
Yeah. I'm taking everything in me not to say like your best life is the life that you're living right now, and I've said it.
Wow. I saw somebody grab the lyric and tagged us in like a inspirational Instagram meme account, like utterly non-ironic, completely earnest, and I was just like, wow, like our self-released indie DIY band songs have spiraled completely down the toilet to the bottom of the sewer, where you end up in inspirational meme accounts with like 30,000 followers. So that's where we're at right now.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, if it brings people to the music, am I right?
We love all our fans, especially the ones with highly followed inspirational meme accounts.
Someone GGZ woman says this is the best possible birthday present I could have asked for.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday. And all right, I've given you all enough time to pull up your streaming platform of choice. Again, I have no sponsor. I have no preference myself. Personally, I just happen to use the Green app, the Green Music app, but you can use anything else. I'm going to pull it up right now so that we can get to this. I'm going to do a weird thing. There we go. All right. Are you ready, Greg?
Yeah.
We're starting with emphatically no. That's what we're starting with. And depending on how quickly we can get through this, because it's only a 34-minute record, and Therapy Island is also pretty short. So yep. I think we can do it. I want to get through this. And you know what? We're just going to pull right through, and we're going to listen to a second album today by Cheekface. We're going to listen to Therapy Island afterwards. If we're all sheesh.
I hope everybody brought a snack.
Yeah, I agree. There's no problem with. In fact, I think it's encouraged to bring your snacks when you listen to Cheekface, I would say. All right, last chance. I'm about to do the countdown. Here we go. I hope you're ready, chat. The build-up for this is always so obnoxious.
I'm ready.
All right. Emphatically No by Cheekface. The first song is Listen to Your Heart, No. 3, 2, 1, go.
ABN Grunt says, "Oh, this bass rips," and I just want to say that's Mandy, my songwriting partner, the other 50% of the band that besides Echo, and Mandy is hands down the best bass player I have ever played with, and anyone who wants to just see someone just play the most lights out bass parts, like come to a Cheekface show and ignore everything except Mandy, because she's really just one of the most amazing bass players I've ever met. When we started the project, she was like, we like sat down, we were like, let's get together and write something sometime. Yeah, okay, let's do that. So we got together and we were like, okay, cool, write something for me to sing or write something for you to sing. And she was like, well, I feel like there's always like a lot of pressure when you're like the girl in a project to be the singer, and I really want to just be like, no, I just don't want to be the singer. And I was like, hey, respect, that's fine. Like, let's write something for me to sing. And I love playing bass, so I was like, is it cool if I play bass and you play guitar? And she was like, no, I'm playing bass. And I was like, all right, cool. We know what we're doing. Like, I'm playing guitar.
Oh, this part
you're
right
playing
here.
Bass.
When you do that kind of stuff in songs, because you've also you did something similar to that in your most recent release with We Need a Bigger Dumpster, where you just like, there will be a buildup or something and it'll be like kind of chaotic, and there will be just random sound effect that just gets thrown in, and then the song continues. Is that something you're going to do beforehand, or are you just like, how do we build out of this section? Let's do this.
Okay, so in listen to that, the song was much shorter, like right up until we recorded it. Like literally maybe the day before we recorded it, or perhaps like in the studio as we were recording it, we're like, shit, this song is too short. Like by the time you get to the end of the second chorus, you feel like it should go on longer. And we didn't want to like, the chorus, it pretty much proves its point pretty fast, but the feeling of the song was like, oh, it needs to keep going a little longer. And so we're like, what are we going to do? We're going to do this like weird breakdown, and then like something needs to happen to like change it up. And then we need to like refocus it on like a little coda and like end it there. And so we tried like a couple of different turnarounds there, and that like ascending like all the way up the neck thing was what we ended up with. And then, I love just like splicing out the music and putting something else in, especially when it's not in time. I don't know what, I guess it's like, maybe like, I don't know. I listened to too much Paul's Boutique when I was like getting into records, like records that people get into.
Sure.
And that has just like a lot of like splicing together. All those old Dust Brothers records do. And so that one, I don't know, that just stuck with me. And so, but that one, it was really inserted at the last second. We were like, what are we going to do? And we're like, God, we're going to bark like dogs. And then it's like, okay, great. On the latest one, on the Dumpster song, that one, the dropout was written into it. We're like, it's going to drop out here. There's going to be like a big, New Order Blue Monday snare drum solo, and then there's going to be a blast of noise, and then the song's going to come in.
And there's going to be
and
a
then
laser
it was just
beam.
a matter of finding the right blast of noise. So
I want to say I love the chorus on this song so much. I mean, you have a gift for chorus writing. I will say that outright. I really love almost every single chorus. Is extremely catchy, and I like this one, and I love the line, like, don't want to talk to a dude.
Yeah, I mean, this, like, all of the songs, or almost all the songs, are written collaboratively by me and Mandy, and definitely, like, there's the don't want to talk to a dude and the don't want to hug also. That was just like, we had the first line, or maybe the last line, I guess, and we had the melody, and we were like, what is this about? And then we started talking through it, and those were just things that, like, were just like tumbling off of Mandy's tongue, like yeah, just like, I don't want to hug, I don't want to talk to a dude, like, what, all of these things. And then like the inside out phrases are my phrases, like the learn to live with what you're doing without, learn to make do with what you're doing without, like, on the outside looking in at you, inside looking out. Those are like my contribution to that hook. But yeah, that was, I mean, the songs are mashed together thoughts of ours.
A canary in a gold mine. You're saying gold mine, right?
Gold mine, yeah.
Canary in a gold mine.
Yeah.
I had only ever heard that phrase as canary in a coal mine.
Yeah, I think part of the cheekface idiom is to take a really a phrase that everyone has heard and change a couple words in it to alter the meaning and make you wonder what the original phrase was about, and also make you wonder what the new phrase is supposed to mean.
Yeah.
I think that's that is something we come back to in song after song.
I didn't get a chance to say it. Well, so the last song, by the way, I should be quiet during this solo.
Yeah, this is Devin McKnight from Monica and ex Speedy Ortiz and Grass is Green. And I just had the worst temp guitar solo in there. And it was also really similar to another guitar solo on the album. And I was like, well, I can't do that twice. Like, let's just mute it and we'll think of someone else who could just rip something on it. And Devin sent back just a really cool idea with the laser effects and everything. So,
but the song before that was Best Life. That the song that just played was Call Your Mom. And this is Crying Back, which also has a banging chorus.
Thank you.
Love the chorus.
This one was, so there's like 4 songs that didn't make the album that were recorded in the album sessions. And this one was like the last one sitting on the fence. And as we were trying to like sequence the album in a way that made sense, this one was like the one of those like 4 or 5 songs where it was like, oh, this does its thing really nicely, no matter where you put it in the album. And it like has a different feel than the other songs. So it survived. Well, some of the other, I don't know. We'll do a deluxe edition someday with all the extra songs that didn't make the cut.
There's something particularly impressive about the way all of your music sounds to me, because it is like it's all very similar. Like the way all of your songs sound extremely like Cheekface. You have a very, very specific sound. And it works so well in a way that is like very distinct in every song. Even though they all sound like each other, there are pieces of them that are deliberate and very easy to pick out as like different songs. And that's so cool to do with how minimalist your arrangements are, because there's so much space in there. I feel like the guitar isn't like constantly playing. It's doing like struck, like stinging chords and stuff. And the bass is like very groovy. I don't know. There's a lot of space and it works so well.
Thanks. Yeah. I think we're a 3-piece band, so it's kind of like there's only a few elements we can play with. It's like, it's like you can have busy drums or you can have empty drums. You can have busy bass or you can have empty bass. You can have busy guitar or empty guitar. And that's kind of it. And so those are our only weapons to play with, to like do something that's like kind of true to what the actual band sounds like. And then I think like as we write, like usually me and Mandy will like, we'll play around with a riff like the riff in this song and start to like find, what the parts are. And then we'll just like adjust the tempo until we like find where the pocket is. And like we usually don't start writing anything else until we have a pocket. And if we have an idea that has no pocket, we'll just throw the idea away and like start a new idea where we can find a pocket.
This one is Wedding Guests. Great little riff here.
Yeah, and this one, credit where it's due. The riff is by a guy named Brijesh Pandya, who's an incredible musician, songwriter, producer, drummer, who's based here in LA, has played in a million bands. And like it was around Christmas, not last Christmas, obviously, but I think the Christmas before. We just got together to make music, and we were like, should we write something? And he was like, I have this riff and it's been in my phone for like a while. And I feel like, you could write like a Courtney Barnett style song to this riff. And so, we started working on it, and, lo and behold, like we ended up with this song. So, Brijesh is the only outside co-writer on the record, but he gave this massive friggin' riff to us. And he also has a couple of the punchlines in the song are also his. The man a plan a plain bagel and an omelet was like,
I love that line.
That was his line. And I was like, he just, I feel like sometimes I've tried to write with people and they're like, oh, well, we'll try and write something like cheekface, or what would cheekface say? And it's like, Burjesh is just a guy who's full of dad jokes.
Sure.
And when we got to that part of the song and I was like trying to scat things that would work there, he was like, a man, a plan, a plain bagel, and an omelet. And I was like, dog, you're a genius. And you know, like, yeah, it was cool.
This also has a really catchy chorus too. The pre-chorus and the chorus of it are both so good.
Yeah, thanks. The you know, we were definitely like, as we were working this song up in the studio, we were like, how are we gonna make the chorus of this pop when it's just the same riff again that's been playing through the whole song? And it's that like ride cymbal loop, which we were like, what are some similar songs to this? 99 Problems by Jay-Z, Crazy in Love by Beyonce, like the same tempo range, right? Like the same feel. And we were like, what makes those songs pop? And they both have these like ride bell loops. And we were like, yeah, sure. So we just like sent Echo in to like play some random rhythms on the ride bell. And we just grabbed a couple bars of it and then like looped it through and distorted it to make it feel like a sample. And that really makes those choruses in that song jump.
And this song is I Don't Want to Go to Calabasas. Is this intentionally supposed to sound like it's starting the same as the Jackass theme?
Yes. Overall, an actual ass influence on this band is Minutemen, you know, who are like, you know, one of the most seminal, iconic LA punk bands of like the early 80s. And like without Minutemen, no Red Hot Chili Peppers, no Fishbone, no Sublime, like, you know, all of that like subculture of like, it's kind of funk, it's kind of reggae, it's kind of punk, like, you know, it's really like Minutemen were like patient zero of that like subgenre. And you know, of course they wrote the song Corona, which was used as the theme for Jackass. And you know, there is a famous version of Corona as well that was done by the band Calexico, which has like mariachi trumpets in place of the guitar riff. And we actually tried a version of this with a mariachi trumpet, like playing the lead part instead of guitar. But it was just too much. And we were like, nah, like,
hold on. Did I just hear Luigi or something?
Yeah, that wasn't in the song. Oh, that's in the song.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah. So that's, so yeah, we were really on a Minutemen vibe. Like we're always on a Minutemen vibe. Like when Mandy's like, what have you been listening to lately? As we're like sitting down to write, I usually say Minutemen. And this song also is we put them next to each other on purpose, but this song is also a reference to the Minutemen song "History Lesson Part 2," where like D Boon is like, me and Mike Watt used to go down to Hollywood, couple of corn dogs, you know, and so we were like, okay, yeah. The title is a reference to Elvis Costello and the Calabasas song, but not the actual music itself.
And this song is called Original Composition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. La, la, la. This is I feel like I'm gonna be a broken record, but this is also a great like chorus. Like
this guitar solo, which is like, I wanted it to be a 1-note guitar solo, and Mandy was like, no, 2 notes, and it changes right there. She was like, I was like, where does the note change? She was like, here, and I was like, okay. So it's 2 notes.
It's like that. Was it the Ramones that had the 1-note solo?
Yeah. I mean, I like 1-note solos. I don't know. I like 1-note that holds out for a long time.
Life itself is a pre-existing condition. That's pretty good.
Thanks. I think that one was off the dome. I don't think that one was out of my notes. Strumbum says, is this one a cake homage? I think there is a Cake song that says like limited edition in it. I'm trying to remember which one it is. I think it's Comfort Eagle. Like, but not an intentional reference. Just
Do you?
something that's in my mind rattling around somewhere.
I know like wait. Also, this whistle part is so weird.
I hate songs with whistling in them, and as I was waiting to cut the demo vocal, like just waiting for this part to play through. I was just absent-mindedly whistling into the mic, and Mandy was like, "Yeah, that's great." And I was like, "No, I hate songs with the whistle hook." And she's like, "I don't care, it's catchy."
It is catchy, and it is very strange. It's a strange melody for the chords.
It's also like really sharp because I'm not that great of a whistler, and we weren't about to like auto-tune the whistling into the key. So
this one is No Connection. What the hell was I going to say? Oh yeah, I after having Brandon on last week for Home Is Where, she was talking about how we were talking about like misguided comparisons to bands or whatever, but then we got kind of on the frame of mind of like bands that you are compared to all the time or that kind of thing, and like how you feel about it. I am curious, like, because I'm sure you get Cake constantly, and
yeah, Cake is cool. We'll take a Cake comparison.
Yeah, sure.
We did not, at no song we have ever written have we sat down being like, we should vibe on Cake, right? Like we're usually like, we should vibe on Minutemen or Jonathan Richman or Elvis Costello, right? It's like older stuff that we like gravitate towards. And I feel like, this like white guy is talking to me style, like, it has pretty deep roots, like, to like the folk revival of like the 50s and also like Bob Dylan, like post folk revival. And that is just like so deep in the, in the DNA of like American music that like, however old you are, you're going to have a reference to it. There's always like an artist doing it like on the radio because it's just like so deeply embedded in like what American music sounds like, and especially like, post 1940.
Sure.
And like if you're a certain age, like Cake was the band, but like for people of other ages, it's I mean, like people have like compared us like to Hobo Johnson. People have compared us to Talking Heads. Like
Talking Heads, like, I hear that.
However old you are, you're gonna like map it onto somebody who's like popular doing it like at whatever time.
Yeah, we're a little bit behind it, but I love the way that the chord, like the chords, the harmony, along with like the way that you sang. Aren't that good? Like that part, for some reason, is ear candy to me.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't put pre-choruses in every song, but definitely like, I don't know, if you write a good pre-chorus, it makes the chorus like pop out more. So we try and get them in a certain number of songs.
Oh, Overzealous says, "Dress for the dog you want really sticks with me."
Yeah, that's another of the cheekface idiom. Change one word, yes. Reconsider the meaning.
Good. I'm turning it back on. No connection. God.
We're just going to listen to William sing the whole record. Actually, I have the instrumentals. If you want me to just play the instrumentals and you can just sing the record on top of them, I can comment on top of that.
It's so... the choruses are just so perfect. I really admire yours and Mandy's songwriting. It's so good.
The choruses are a labor of love for sure.
It's... one of the big reasons I got into you, well, for one, I found out about you because we were both on a live stream together. It was this huge live stream that had a bunch of like other artists on it. I can't remember what it was, but you played, I think you played Listen to Your Heart. I can't really remember. And then you played Lauren. By Rosie Tucker. And I just like the way that you talked about the other bands. I like the way you talked about your own music, and I like the way you talked about Rosie Tucker was like very endearing. And I also love Rosie Tucker. So
yeah, I'm wearing my Rosie tee right now.
oh, hell yeah, I didn't even notice.
It's under frame, but I just wanted to call it out.
This is also a banging chorus. Let's get real.
This one was definitely like we may have written it like 2 months or 2 weeks. I mean, like after Rick Ocasek died from the Cars, and we were just fully vibing on Just What I Needed. And then we also were like, what are some other songs that vibe on Just What I Needed? And we listened to Stacy's Mom by Fountains of Wayne, which like also R.I.P. Adam Schlesinger, just a fucking terrible time for power pop legends.
Yeah.
But even this guitar walk down part with like the double stops is like just like extra, like every car song has that. So we're definitely Stacy's Mom hits.
Hey, I'm not going to argue with you.
I'm just reading that out of the chat, and it's facts.
Stacy's Mom does it.
It's facts. So so there might be some ideas subconsciously in this from Stacy's Mom as well.
But the one thing that I forgot to say, the thing I latched onto was I personally was struggling a lot with my own like songwriting, and with like the world, and not being able to write something that wasn't heavy-handedly political, and I really didn't like the way that it was coming out, and it just didn't feel subtle or enjoyable or anything, and I was having a really hard time, and I was having a hard time writing about anything else either. So in that moment, having found you, and like all of you writing the way that you do, which is like overtly political in a way that is super catchy and enjoyable to listen to, and like I think I latched onto that, and that is the big reason why I think because y'all sound good, your sound is good, it mixed well, it's catchy, whatever, but I just think like lyrically the way that you write and how political you are with your music is extremely satisfying and enjoyable for me to listen to.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's the thesis of the band, like pretty much is like the songs have to be political because it's just a political time. Yeah. And it's like that's the time of man that we live in. And so if you're not talking about politics, you're kind of not interacting with the world as it is. Yeah. And I think like the challenge to us, as we started writing, was like, how are we going to not make the world feel even darker? Which like, I like dark political music, fuck yeah, Downtown Boys. Like, but like I was just like, the world is so bleak and hopeless, and like, the politics of the time are so bleak and hopeless and nihilistic. And
sorry, it's like, I'm laughing at the song.
And like, how are we going to do something honest in this like time of nihilism, but also make it not feel even more nihilistic, mm-hmm. like make it, put in the fun of like listening to music and not like the suffering of the world. And so, I think at our top dollar best, we cut the balance.
I agree. This part's so good. And this song is Big Big Friend, by the way. And the one before this was Emotional Rent Control.
This guitar solo went in like, again, like the day before we were cutting this song. Like, it just wasn't there. And then it was like, you know what? The song feels like it's supposed to have a loud part that happens right now. And then we were like, okay, let's write that loud part and then learn it fast enough that we can record it in like a day. Yeah,
because you, for this record, you all like went into a studio together. This wasn't recorded at home.
Yeah, no, this was, most of it was recorded at New Monkey, which is Elliott Smith's old personal studio in Van Nuys, which is incredible. It has all his gear in it, his console, his mics, his compressors, like go go walk, don't run to record a record at New Monkey. It's so fucking sick. And then we did a couple of songs, including Big Friend and Best Life, in Brooklyn, when we were playing there, at Studio G in Greenpoint, which is also a phenomenal place, in its own right. So if you're in Brooklyn, go record Studio G.
And this song is Loyal Like Me. So you would suggest recording at New Monkey? Is that what it is?
Yeah, we love New Monkey. Greg, who's the head engineer there, is an incredible person, and the studio they have tons of great guitars and great amps and stuff like that, which, like, a lot of studios, they don't have that stuff. Tons of amazing pedals, and just like Greg has the room patched, just has it totally dialed in, and whatever kooky idea you're thinking of, he's like, oh yeah, I got that. Which, sometimes, like, working with like someone who's not the house engineer, like, you'll have to stumble for it, or you'll be like, okay, we got to go to Guitar Center and get this pedal or whatever. And he's like, oh, you want this DI guitar to sound completely fried and gated out? Like, yeah, I have 3 pedals for that, and we'll go direct to the board, and we can process it, and you can decide which one you like.
Wow.
Which is just really fun. And I think, like, it's a studio that was obviously Elliot built it to make records of, like, organic playing, like, of people playing together and not like in the box. And so, it's kind of just exactly what it needs to be to make, like, this sort of record.
And do you all track individually, or do you play any of the parts together?
This is all live together.
All right, the whole record?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, this is all live together, and none of it is like quantized or beat detected or anything like that. There's just like the band jamming in the room.
But you played to a click, right?
Are overdubbed. Huh?
But you played to a click, right?
Yeah, it's all to a click.
Yeah. And then the vocals are what?
The vocals are overdubbed, obviously.
Yeah, the vocals are overdubbed. Okay. Oh my God. So this is
what our band sounds like.
Oh my God. Wow. That's so good.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff like we noticed that, like, the electric guitar strings were bleeding into some of the overhead mics, and we were like, and when we noticed it, we were like, is that gonna be like, should we go fix that now before it becomes too much of a thing? And then we were like, no, that's just gonna be part of the sound of this record. Actually, it's just like it's just like the electric guitar unamplified strings bleeding into things, and you can really hear them in a few parts of a few songs. Like, I think, like, you can hear them kind of ringing out in, like, No Connection, and like a couple more of them.
And this is Do You Work Here? This one is interesting. This one sounds very strange compared to the rest of the album.
I feel like the second to last spot in any album is where you put a song where you're like, what if our band sounded completely different and we just made, like, another genre of music? And that's, we wrote this song and we were like, this song's kind of a vibe. But it's like, it's not a single. But we're gonna run with it. And this wasn't how we wrote it, but once we were in the studio, we were like, it kind of sounds like Autolux, and which, like, I mean, they still exist, but, like, in the early aughts, they were like a LA band of some note with one of the guys from Failure, Carla Azar, who's played drums with a lot of people, played on it, and and so we really, like, went for, like, their first album was produced by T-Bone Burnett, so it has all these really tasty sounds on it, and so all the delay throws and stuff like that, and then, like, this squelching out, like, bass synth, that's all, like, stuff we were just listening to Autolux and being like, oh, how do we get that really, like synth sound? And that was another thing in the studio. Greg was like, yeah, like, I have that synth, like, let's get that sound.
Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah. So, whereas, like, if we were doing it, as a living room record, we wouldn't have figured it out. But
Yeah. I mean, well, Jay and Lane have been. I love that. No.
Yeah, that's straight up from a Sonic Youth song. I'm trying to remember which one it is. I think it's on which Sonic Youth album is that? One of the really big Sonic Youth albums. I'm looking just to see if I can remember. Oh, it's I think like one of the songs on Dirty that has that backup vocal in it. So shouts out Sonic Youth.
And this
now more like Sonic Middle Aged.
Oh wow. Time comes for us all. This one is Don't Get Hit by a Car, and it's the final song on the album.
I have to say, I was incredibly uncomfortable with putting this song on the album. It is just so extreme it's just such an extreme example of what we do. And I was just like, I don't know, this is like too unfiltered and too raw and too over the top what it is. And like Echo and Mandy were just like, are you fucking kidding? This is like one of these songs. And I was like, all right, like, let's go for it. So, it just, I mean, like, we put the record out and of course people glommed onto this song as like, well, yeah, this is obviously like one of these songs. And so then I came to accept what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely like, I'm not self-conscious about our music. Like, I'm like most of it, like, I'm not worried about what other people are going to think of it. Like, basically, I already know that most people are going to be like really annoyed by it. And it's just going to annoy the shit out of most people. And like, that's kind of what it's for. Like, it's for like, 1% of people and 99% of people are going to hate it. So I'm not worried about what other people are going to think of it. It's more like worried about like how I think of it.
Small Red Boy is saying this is the favorite on the album of theirs. Proving your point.
Thank you, Small Red Boy. Appreciate it.
I will say that story is a prime example of how valuable bandmates are.
Yeah, well, 100%. I mean, and honestly, like, I mean, me and Mandy are definitely, equal partners in this project, and none of it happens without both of us. Echo is like, he's an equal partner too, but you know how they say like some people are more equal than others.
Sure. Yeah. I was saying before, I keep cutting myself off, but like Jay and Lane have been playing with Serum a lot recently.
What's that?
It's a synth like it's like used to basically like emulate pretty much any synth sound that you could think of. It's what I believe Kanye West uses it on a bunch of records and stuff to like, you can use it to mimic like the Prophet and a bunch of other stuff and make your own synth sounds. Jay's been making a ton of unique synth sounds for the next record and everything. Well, there it is. Cool. That's all of Emphatically No.
We made it.
That's the whole thing. Okay, well, we can chat for like a second here because before we get into Therapy Island, because that one's only 32 minutes long, and I know I won't be keeping you past 2:00 Pacific time. So we have, but we don't even have to go up to that far. But Caring Lizard is saying I need more. But Strumbum is saying gotta go. Bye, Cheekface. Bye.
Bye, Strumbum. Thank you for checking in.
And Strumbum had also said that the last song on the record was their second favorite on that album. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to talk about in between. I just want to say like that's a really cool record. I mean, and Therapy Island I'm excited to listen to as well. I like them both a lot. I mean, I know you can tell by now that I'm a fan of yours, but I just, yeah, hard not to gush having you here. I
gush away, baby. Shower me in praise.
I would love to. I would love to. I mean, I don't know. Release your next record whenever that's going to be, and I want to get you and Mandy on.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be great if Mandy's comfortable with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Hell yeah. Also, I mean, when shows are safer, um, it'd be cool to play together. We're both based in LA.
I know I feel like, are LA bands having a moment, or are LA bands out?
Are they having a moment, or are they out?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
I think they're having a moment. I really do, because you got Illuminati Hotties, you got y'all, we got Glass Beach. I mean, Car Talk. I don't, and then Rosie, yeah. Oh my God, Rosie Tucker. Do you have an N for Rosie, by the way? Can you get a hold of them?
That's the homie.
I figured you did. I really desperately want Rosie on to talk about their new record.
Oh yeah, definitely. You definitely should have Rosie on.
And yeah, I DM'd them, but they don't they don't follow me, and so it probably.
Oh no, you went into the trash DMs.
I know, exactly. I know. I tried. It's better than what I did for Njimily. I just tweeted at Njimily and I was like, "Hey, I want you on the show," which worked.
Yo, shoot your shot.
Yeah, Father Daughter Records responded to that and was like, "Hey, we'll email you." And so it's not official, but I'm trying to get Njimily on to talk about Give or Taker as well.
Rat Boys are not LA. Rat Boys are strongly Chicago.
Rat Boys.
I'm just reading that out of the chat.
Oh, yeah. Which Rat Boys are also going to be on here June 5th?
We love Rat Boys too.
Yeah, yeah.
Rat Boys.
Rat Boys. I found you and Rat Boys at about the same time, actually. It was a phenomenal day.
that was our first canceled show of last year was Rat Boys Cheekface at the Echo.
Oh my God. I love the Echo.
TBT, remember going to shows at the Echo?
Yeah, wow. Oh wow. That would have been a cool show to go to.
Rat Boys should definitely move to LA, but I have a feeling they're one of those, like, I got a, tattoo of the Sears Tower on my back, I'm never leaving Chicago type bands.
They do I feel like a Chicagoan band, a Chicagoan band. I feel like bands that are like Chicago based and get grounded in Chicago, they're not going to leave. No, because like Namdi is also Chicago based and is like always talking about how fucking great Chicago is and how much he loves living there. Yeah.
Chicago is like incredibly supportive of its artists, like way more so than LA. It's just facts.
Yeah. No, I don't. I mean, it's like, just far off in the future, Glass Beach isn't going to be in LA forever. Like, it's not, because we're not even from here. We moved here. We're all transplants, like all of us. Jay and Lane are from Texas, and Jonas and I are from Minnesota.
All right. Going back to the middle of America.
We've discussed Washington. I would love to, someone says transplants. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, two people. All right, we get it. We're trans. We're a trans band. You're right. You caught me. As always. Yeah. We've discussed that. Jonas and I have talked pretty extensively about our love for like Minnesota and how we would totally move back there. Like, the only thing is, like, the winters there are pretty outrageous, very bad. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't trust other drivers on the road in Minnesota. It's funny. I don't trust drivers here in LA, but at least
they're really bad here.
At least there's not ice all over the road.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah. But we're here for now. I don't know. Are you from LA originally, or like California?
I'm a local native here, yeah. But Mandy's from Jersey and Echo's from Austin. So I'm the only, I'm the only one. LA band Sun, Jersey band Moon, Austin band Rising.
Yes, I did see that. Yeah. Okay. All right. What are you thinking, chat? What are you thinking, Greg?
Imagine being American. L. Wow. I mean,
Fair enough. You got us. I'm going to say this again right now. Exclamation point listen in the chat will bring you to the Cheekface Bandcamp and also their merch store where they have a pre-order for 2 shirts right now. One that's like a black shirt with Cheekface, the logo, and then another one that's like an orange jersey thing that is it's so cool. As soon as you posted about it, I was like, I've got to get that shirt.
We've done a few runs of those, and those ones always fly. That's just another outstanding Mandy creation.
Oh, really? Does Mandy do like the cover art as well?
Yeah, all of the looks are all Mandy.
Because I love your album covers. I love all of your album art, like
Thank
so
you.
much.
Yeah, Mandy's just kills it on all those things.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay. All right, cool. Well, yeah, so exclamation point listen, and then also exclamation point abolish. We still have the shirts and the raffle going for that until tomorrow evening at midnight. So check that stuff out. That's exclamation point abolish in the chat and exclamation point listen in the chat. Let's move on. So if you still have your streaming platform pulled up, this is to you, Greg, and also the audience. Anybody who might be watching live or people who are on the VOD on YouTube, you can go to Cheekface and pull up Therapy Island, because we're gonna get right into that right now.
I'm ready.
And this is the album from 2019. The album we just listened to before, Emphatically No, is from 2021. That's from 2021? Why did I think that was released in 2020?
I don't know. It came out in January. 1/11.
Because the singles were released in... Okay, that's
yes,
right. Yeah.
We tend to dribble these things out.
That's a good way to do it, I think.
I mean, we just like...
Oh,
when you have a song you like... it's hard to keep it on a hard drive where no one can hear it.
Hey Jonas, if you're watching, can you come and let Luna out of the room? The air conditioner suctioned the door shut and she can't open it, even though it is open. So hopefully Jonas will come to do that.
I'll sit here and entertain the people if you need to run to the door.
Oh, there they are. Thank you. Is there a way that you can just do that? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. She's out now. Jonas came to do it. The air conditioner, the central air in our house, when it runs, it suctions all of the doors shut. So people end up slamming doors on accident or stuff it'll sound like someone's super angry when really they were just trying to go to the bathroom or something. It's amazing. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to give a countdown again. I'm not doing the countdown right now. This is just me telling you what I'm about to do, but I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1, go. That wasn't it, but it will be a 3, 2, 1, go, and hit play when I say go. And we should be synced up to continue ready. This listen party. Again, this is Cheekface. I have Greg here with me, and we are about to listen to Therapy Island by Cheekface. The first song is Dry Heat Nice Town. That's the song. That's the first song I saw you play. Oh, that's right. Which also, spoilers, banger of a chorus. It's just good. It just is. And I know earlier you said that Cheekface is probably for 1% and the other 99% find it annoying. I think within that 1%, there's another 1% that just are completely struck by it. And I think that I'm that.
It is weird, but it feels like the people who like it, while they aren't many, they like it a lot, which is cool. That's how my favorite bands are. So, I'm down. I'm down to be a cult favorite. I definitely do not want to be a famous band.
Oh yeah, I'm that's fair. Is it a privacy thing or is it just
I don't know. There's just no. Maybe it's just like I've been playing in bands long enough that I like now know like being a famous or popular band isn't all that great either.
Sure.
And so it's kind of like, I don't know. Do you want to be famous or popular for some reason, like some personal emotional reason? Because it doesn't make being in a band necessarily like more fun.
Sure.
It doesn't make it pay better really, because the more popular you get, the more expensive it is to do what you do.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's just kind of like, I don't know, there's just not that much improvement of your life that comes with becoming very popular as I see it. I like having interesting experiences. So if like, like if our band like takes me to parts of the world that I've never been to, like that sounds cool. But not for popularity's sake.
Sure.
We have fun writing the songs and recording them, and that's kind of all it is.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've talked about this on other stuff, but I used to definitely want to be famous. And then, it's less of the more I've grown to know, the more I don't want it or anything like that. I have an inherent like enjoyment and like of attention and that kind of thing internally. And, I do struggle a lot with like basing parts of the way that I feel on the way that people perceive and recognize me. But the biggest thing that like I've walked away with is just like kind of the inherent immorality of fame is something that I've had a little bit more of a struggle with more recently. And just like, it's hard because I don't enjoy or endorse like idolization, but and that's something I'm trying to like limit in my own life and in my participation of it, because I find it very dehumanizing and also like I think just it puts you in a bad place. So kind of like celebrities and stuff, the way that like the way that it is audience members who kind of hopelessly adore celebrities does not help the celebrity or us. It's like, it's kind of like a negative. Just because like, I think too often you can either have a parasocial relationship like begin where you feel like you know someone like really, really well, or on the other side of it, and this is more for like smaller people who just kind of have a following, I find it like limits people's ability to see them as a person. So then they just say, I mean, in some instances, very, very awful things, just like offhanded because they're just like, oh, they'll never see this, or like that kind of stuff. And I just think it puts all of us in a weird headspace, and I don't think it's very valuable. But I still can't help but want it,
I mean, I don't judge anyone else's, needs or desires or personalities. It's like, it isn't for me. I feel like, for a lot of artists, it isn't for them either. And even very popular artists, I mean, we all know them, right? Like, like Frank Ocean obviously does not like being as popular as he is. He would like a lot more private life.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of artists out there, probably most artists who are quite popular wish they had a more private life. And like the popularity kind of comes for you at a certain level where you don't have any control over it. I think like, I don't want to say that we're like intentionally trying to limit how big of an audience that we reach, but we somewhat are.
Sure.
And like that's kind of just a, I don't know, lifestyle choice of me and Mandy, like,
sure.
And Echo, but some equals are more equal
than other equals.
Yeah. We're kind of like not, we're kind of like, yeah, we could, work the shit out of this record, but like, we're not going to, because that, like what it's like, marginal utility, I guess. Like, does the increasing utility of how much more popular you get, like, give you something that more than the annoyance that it causes or the
Sure.
hassles that it causes? And for us, not really, you know. I feel like how popular the band is now is about how popular I would like
You
it to
want it to
be.
be? Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, like, that's why we're not out here. Like, it's not why we don't have a 2-month tour booked for the end of the year, or, you know, it's why we don't shop our albums to labels and, you know, stuff like that. It's just, we're just, it's not just not about that life.
Yeah. And
When I was younger, I was like, yo, I want to sign to Atlantic. I want a song on the radio. Like, I want to play Coachella, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, then I had friends who did that. And I was like, they did it and they were like, I could see how much pain they suffered through doing it. And it was like, oh, okay. Like, that's actually doesn't make it better or more fun. Took me a long time to kind of understand that, like, you kind of have to loop back around to, like, you know, I make this stuff because I want to make it. It makes me happy to make it. And, like, people who like it, that's cool that they like it. And that's kind of all there is to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I respect that too. I mean, of course. Yeah. My personal thing is, like, I don't necessarily want us to Glass Beach get, like, huge, like, or anything, or even like a solo project of mine or whatever. But I am of the mind that I do want to be able to make a living off of it, at least. I just like, I don't know. The thought of working the rest of my life doesn't seem very fun, you know?
Yeah. And, like, honestly, like, for people who do want to make a living off of it, you have to be really, really, really popular to earn enough money to make a living, like, to make a living that's more than you would make working at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be extremely popular. So, you know, because it's just so expensive to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, especially, like, in a band context. But yeah, I mean, you know, respect. I hope Glass Beach takes over the world. That would be so good for the world. I hope Glass Beach becomes the most popular band on the planet. I hope they all become the most popular artist of any kind on the planet. That would be great for the planet. So, you know, please, you know, go forward with my blessing.
Thank you. That's extremely sweet. It is. Well, with that, you want to get into Therapy Island?
Sure. Let's listen to this old record.
Let's listen to this old record from 2019.
It was another time.
It was. I mean, truly. Yeah. Like Caring Lizard in the chat, I just want to get a couple of these out. It's always odd having the desire to be seen, but left alone for the most part. Like, fame contains an odd kind of cognitive dissonance in my mind. And Overzealous says, I totally respect and somewhat follow having a narrow scope in life. Which, yeah, no. I mean, I get that, and I think, like, what Caring Lizard said is, like, also something I've felt. I think about that all the time with, like, YouTubers. Like, Lindsay Ellis released a video recently where she was talking about how people perceive her as famous, and she's like, I never get noticed on the street. Like, she's like, I've never in my life, except for at, like, conventions or whatever, where I'm like, where people are there to see me. She was like, I go and get coffee. I go, like, do all the stuff I'll sit at restaurants, and no one has ever noticed or approached me. And it's like, that's funny to think about, because, like, if you are in a fan of hers, or, like, you're in that, like, zone, that area of YouTube or whatever. And I mean, she's even an author too. So, but you would expect, like, oh, there's got to be at least, like, 1, 2, maybe 3 people a year that, like, catch you on the street and go, oh my gosh, you're that person or whatever. But
I mean, I went for a walk, like, 2 days ago, just walking down the street in Highland Park, passed by the Catholic church. Someone in a RAV4 opened their window and yelled, "Cheekface, I miss seeing you guys." And I was like, that's cool.
Wow.
That's cool. I don't mind being recognized here or there.
Sure.
But, like, you know,
as long as it's not like obstructive.
Yeah, catch me not aspiring to be on SNL or anything like that.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, what would you do if they booked you at the same time as like Elon Musk or something? Anyway,
I was like, well, I hope Pitchfork does not cover our album, and they didn't, so I was relieved.
oh yeah, I mean, I'll talk to some people. We'll get the next one.
No, please no.
I'm kidding. I don't have that kind of connection anyway. Don't worry. Yeah, the only thing I could do is maybe pitch you to Ian Cohen, and he exclusively writes about emo. So
I assure you that Ian Cohen fits snugly into the 99% of people whose shit would be annoyed out of by listening to Cheekface.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say. Hard to say what Ian Cohen's tastes are. It seems pretty eclectic, honestly.
I mean, I'm not judging him.
No, I know. I wasn't. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make it seem like you were.
I feel like it's safe to say if you just name any random person on the planet, they're probably a person who would think our band is annoying.
Hey, well, almost everyone I've showed your music has enjoyed it.
Thank you. That's very nice of you, and I appreciate the word of mouth spreading the word.
I won't spread it too far. Don't worry.
No. Telling your friends is all good. Telling your friends is all good.
All right, let's do it. Therapy Island. I've given you 100 years to pull up your streaming service to get into this. People are saying our next album should be called Glass Beach World.
That's a good name.
We've been this is the last joke I'm going to say, but as a band we've joked about like talking to other bands and having them release albums that are called the first Glass Beach album or like the second Glass Beach album or something. So like your next album would be the second Glass Beach album, you know, that kind of thing. Did you say okay?
Yeah. Hey, I mean, it would be the third Cheekface album, but I mean, who's keeping track really?
It would be very extremely funny, and any band that reached out to us wanting to do it would have our blessing to name their album like the second Glass Beach album or something. Because we're not going to do it. We're not going to use that. So, yeah. All right, let's listen to Therapy Island. Last thing for real, I would love to see Mandy's take on like a Glass Beach album cover, though. I really would.
You know, it's funny. I don't want to speak for her, but I feel like her illustration aspirations are pretty much confined to just doing our stuff, because people do hit us up being like, oh, like, Mandy, could you make something like this, like in the style of a Cheekface cover for this or that? And she usually says like no, just like right out of hand, not like, oh, how much would it pay, let me think about it, see if I have time. Like no, she's just like, no, I'm not going to do that, but if someone wants to do their own version, that's cool. So cool. But you know, if you want to, if you ever want one, you can certainly ask it, and I can get her to say no directly to it.
Oh yeah. Put me on the phone. Hello? No. Yeah. Okay. Therapy Island by Cheekface. I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1, go. We hit play on go. And the first song is Dry Heat, Nice Town. I'm here with Greg from Cheekface. And we're going to rock for the next 32 minutes.
Woo!
3, 2, 1, go. Oh shit. Start over, everyone.
Wow, the whole lead up and everything.
All right, start over. Second, take two. Everybody stop. All right, I'm giving you a second. I know I said go. I'm sorry. All right, if you must know what I did, I panicked last minute and I accidentally hit play on track 2. So I hit like the skip instead of the play. So it like, it was because I didn't have my mouse hovering over the right thing as I was doing the countdown. Ridiculous. All right, everybody, are we reset? I'm giving you a second to reset, and your second is gone. Okay, here we go. Therapy Island by Cheekface. I'm here with Greg from Cheekface. The first song is Dry Heat, Nice Town. 32 minutes. Let's chill. Let's vibe. 3, 2, 1, go. Can I call this too good to work for anyone? Down a lot of anarchists. It's 7-Eleven. It's just such a good chorus.
Thank you.
Also love this. The dink, 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 dink. Yeah.
That turnaround was twice as long when we were rehearsing it, and then in the studio we were like, "Oh no, it's so long. That turnaround, no one needs to wait that long. Let's cut it down." And
Great.
then I think it was like I was so self-conscious about how long it still was at like 2 bars or whatever that I was like, so I just like started like plinking along, being like, "Let's get through to the next part." And so it ended up on the record.
Good to work for anyone. The guitar part on the chorus is so catchy. It's catchy as hell.
Thanks. It was one of those things where it's just like we wrote the verse part and we were just kind of jamming on the verse part, and then we were like, okay, now there's this pre where it's just going to be like ringing out, and then as soon as we played through those parts together, like it just so obviously had to be those chord changes to me. I was like, oh, it's obviously about to just be this exact thing. And then, it really was one of those ones that took no thought and kind of just spilled right out.
Hell yeah. And
then
the business, like, working a business.
That was totally, Mandy was like, yeah, well, after the instrumental break, there's got to be a double length pre. And I was like, all right, I guess so.
Also, this synth is great. This is really an incredible opener to this album.
Thanks. Yeah, the synth is a Moog Rogue, and that's one of the house synths at New Monkey. And I was like, we want this Cars synth sound that just comes screaming in at you. And, Greg Cortez was like, yeah, well, we got the Moog Rogue, so that's the sound. You
go. And this is, I only say I'm sorry when I'm wrong now, which this also has a great chorus.
Thank you.
I'll just say that for every song, I guess, but
we like writing them, so we will take the compliments for sure. Yeah, this chorus was like as all my melody and all Mandy's lyrics. I think I had like the I only formulation. I was like, what are some things that people tell you to do that you don't do, but are good advice, but you ignore? And Mandy was like, well, you're only supposed to say you're sorry when you're wrong. And I was like, there it is.
Yeah. Like now.
That cymbal catch right there, it wasn't tight enough in the actual take.
Yeah.
And so I was like, Echo, just play straight through it. Just don't do the cymbal catch, and we'll dub the cymbal catch. And then we stood there, like I stood next to the drum kit with him trying to get the cymbal catch in time, and then me grabbing it as fast as I could. Which, every drummer loves that when you're like, oh, your way of doing this isn't right. I got to do it for you. Like drummers really love that. Anyone who's friends with the drummer will tell you, like drummers love being micromanaged by the singer in the band.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
it is admittedly a pet peeve of mine as well.
Yeah, you would know. Especially when the singer in the band is like trying to explain a beat to you and explaining it as like, no, it's supposed to go like boom, boom.
I prefer a mouth driven explanation, whether it beatboxed or otherwise.
Like a scattered explanation is better than like
it's better than them being like, you know what, let me just show you, and sitting down on the kit.
No.
That happened. That used to happen a bit more than it does now. It doesn't really happen anymore. But it was always, I was always like, no, just say it to me. Just say it and we'll figure it out.
No. Wow, classic singer move though.
Yeah. There is one song on in Bedroom Community on our first record where I couldn't play a part that I had written that we had like talked about doing. So I did the hands and the kick, but I needed to like keep the continuous like hi-hat going, but it was just like so fast that I couldn't do it. So in the recording, Jay went over and did it with their hand. Like it's just like opening and closing the hi-hat like on the ground.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is one of the first songs that we wrote together. I think we wrote it I think it's probably the second song we finished. And we had just gone to a Wire show together, the band Wire. And we were just like strongly vibing on Wire, like a retired art teacher vibes. And like we're like, okay, like let's make some retired art teacher post-punk songs. And like this one and Crud from the second side of the album both were like out of those like right after we went to the Wire show writing sessions.
I love that you had to say you said Wire show and then the band, and then in my head I had a second of like, what else would it be? And then I was like, oh wait, a Wire show, that's a thing. Like
yeah, there's a show called The Wire. And
yeah,
also,
that's true.
I feel like a lot of people just don't know who Wire is because a lot of people don't know who Wire is because more of a UK thing. Yeah. Although I guess if you probably listen to bands like Cheekface and Glass Beach, you probably know who Wire is.
Maybe. Yeah. I need a 4-person drum set album. No.
Like every Animal Collective album.
Also, this song is called Still Life. Now, is that a double entendre?
You betcha.
Is it? Okay, cool. I mean, I figured. That's the kind of thing y'all would do. You dig into the wordplay a little bit there.
Yeah.
And the song is Eternity Leave.
Yeah, so this one, and I only say I'm sorry when I'm wrong now, were cut separate from the rest of the album because as we were writing them, we were just like, oh, we got one. This is songs we were really excited about, and we were like, this has to get recorded right away, even though we already have a whole album's worth of material.
Sorry, I have a cat meowing at me.
No, you're good. Another song in our arsenal of songs with DI lead guitar.
Oh yeah.
That is for whatever reason we love guitar direct into the board.
I like DI guitar. I mean, Glass Beach. When we perform live, we like don't even have amps.
It does save a lot of trouble, doesn't it?
Now, if you saw us on our West Coast tour, we had amps, but like since then we've been our lead guitarist is a sound engineer and for like live sound too and stuff, and so he was just like, hey, like we brought him into the band and he was like, hey, how quickly can I get all of you to abandon your amps? So now we have like a dark glass DI for the bass, and we have a Helix for the guitars. And this song is House Shoes.
This was definitely the one where we wrote it and then we knew we kind of found the sound of the band.
Oh, for real?
Which is like, I mean, the song is so deeply stupid and like 2 chords, 2 words. But you know, it was one where we wrote it and we were like, this is pretty unusual and it's just its own thing. And we played the demo for a couple people and people were like, this is fucking spectacular, 70 seconds long. And we're just like, yeah, maybe that's what this band is.
Yeah.
Also, like, I remember mixing this and just the vocals could not be loud enough for me. Just every time another pass came back, I was like, can we get the vocals up by like a few more dB? Like, they kind of need to be too loud, like almost stupidly over loud. Like almost to get the reaction of like, why are the vocals so loud on a song that has so little to say? And you know, and eventually they got there. But that also became part of the sound of the band. Like I see the occasional review that's like, this band's pretty cool, but the vocals are so loud. And I'm like, yeah, there are like, you know, the like annoying radio announcer effect is like intended.
I don't know. The vocals have always felt proper to me.
I think like because there's like rarely any reverb or delay, and that's like very unusual for like indie rock bands.
Sure.
I think like the fact that they like sit right at the front of the mix instead of like back amongst the instruments, probably, you know, if you're listening to a lot of indie rock bands, you're probably like, these vocals are oddly dry for an indie rock band.
Yeah. And not only that, but for a lot of other bands, you do find yourself kind of straining to understand them.
Yeah,
I'm never losing your lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with the lyrics being kind of the primary purpose of the band, you know, we didn't want to like start having them sync to the back or anything.
And this one is Here I Was, by the way. Because when I put on my flip-flops, my train of thought has been derailed for the next 10 minutes as I just say house shoes in my head.
I just did an interview with somebody in Slovenia, and they asked, I have to ask you, what is house shoes? Is it like slippers? And I was like, yeah, it's slippers. He was like, in Slovenia, we call them slippers. I was like, yeah, we call them slippers too. No one really calls them house shoes, actually.
I thought it might be like a play on house shows.
It's not super not intended, but it's not really intended.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm also like, I mean, myself and like the rest of Glass Beach are very of the mind of like, we only want to put out like, we put that stuff out and then people can, you know, make their own interpretations and that kind of thing. And a song can mean anything. It doesn't really matter. And of course people are interested to see like why songs are the way they are and where they came from. But I know Jay is like more over like the less we can talk about it and the more you can interpret it, the better. So I hate to continue asking you. Is this what you meant? Is it?
No, I love answering those questions. I'm actually the exact opposite point of view. I'm like anything like I've definitely been in those bands where you kind of make it a mystery or just leave it up to interpretation. And I've even been in bands with other people who are like, we need to intentionally obscure the meaning. And that I feel like just for this, we're not trying to obscure anything. It's pretty much all just right out there. So likewise, happy to be asked a direct question.
And this one is Sexy National Anthem. Till 2002 in chat says in German it's Hausschuh, which literally means, which literally means house shoes.
There you go.
Wow. There really is a German word for anything.
I was listening to the guy, you know, that famous restaurant 11 Madison Park is going vegan when they reopen.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And I was listening to the chef talking, and he was talking about passion. And he said that the word in German, which is his native language, for passion, the direct translation is like the desire to suffer. And I was like, he said the word in German, which I can't remember, obviously, because I don't speak German. But I was like, damn, the desire to suffer, passion. It makes sense.
This one in the chorus gives me Beatles vibes.
Yeah, I guess I can kind of see that. Well, the like DI guitar stabs on like the 2 and 4, that's like Revolver, Rubber Soul,
Yeah.
even like Band on the Run, Ram, like they were definitely about those like DI guitar too loud,
Yeah,
like Taxman style.
yeah, exactly. Taxman is the song that I was thinking of.
Yeah, I think like when we were recording that, I was like, this needs to be DI and sound like Band on the Run.
There's that's even like
yeah, I hear that. I hear that. Not an intentional.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
But
also, yeah, it's such a simple melody. Of course, it's like, yeah.
Another Moog Rogue solo, of course. And this, I think we doubled it with the guitar and the vocals, and we also doubled it with whistling. I think the whistling got cut.
Well, not a surprise to hear the way you think about whistling.
I hate whistling, but I think we were like, what has that like long slide that like, you know, you can kind of connect all the notes. And it's like, yeah, whistling, you can do that. So I'm
also personally not like in love with whistling, but I do, I don't know, if someone can do it right, it becomes very satisfying to me. Like, I'm trying to think. LP? Is that who I'm thinking of? I don't know.
Yeah. I have a friend, Cassandra McGrath, goes by Cassandra Violet, who's like a world champion level whistler. She has a cool singer-songwriter project. Her songs are cool. Her whistling is incredible.
Your songs, they're pretty cool. The whistling, though.
She would tell you the same.
Yeah.
She would just be like, yeah, I'm a pretty good songwriter and I'm an incredible whistler. So anyways, if you ever need whistling that is like, does not sound like amateur whistling, that sounds like world championship level whistling. All right. I have a plug.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
You're like, that's very useless advice. Thanks for sharing.
This song is called Glendale.
This one
now what's that
right
from? What is a Glendale? What is a...
Is that a serious question?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar. It's named after the LA. What would you call that? A suburb? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a suburb.
Yeah.
We played in San Francisco in 2019, and after the show, someone came to the merch table and said, "Have you ever been to Elena's?" And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And she was like, Elena's. Well, I grew up in Glendale and it's the best falafel place in Glendale. And I was like, okay, Elena's. Elenas. And the falafel is not, you get used to like falafel. It comes in like balls or sometimes in like little medallions.
Yeah.
The falafel at Elena's is like this rocky crag that covers the entire plate. Like they just take a big mush of the like raw material and throw it all into the fryer in like a big chunk, and then it comes out as like a mountain, and then they like cover the mountain in like hummus and tahini, and like sprinkle it with like cayenne pepper. So it is just like you get this just like plate long mountain range of falafel in a continuous chunk. Like it almost looks like a slab of beef. So Elena's, Elenas. There's definitely no other falafel place like it. Honestly, it's really close to Zanku, and like, not gonna lie, Zanku is probably better, but it's definitely an experience. There's no question. There's no other falafel place like it. But word to the wise, I'm vegetarian. For any vegetarians who may be listening, the rice at Elena's is not vegetarian, and it's the default side with the falafel. So ask for tabbouleh with the falafel if you want to keep it vegetarian.
That's good to know, because J Dax and Jonas all don't eat meat. So
yeah, go with the tabbouleh, or the French fries are great, or just a regular old salad. But yeah, the rice, not vegetarian at Elena's.
Hey, William, unrelated, but what is your favorite Glass Beach song to record / listen to? Yeah, I'll sneak that into this listen along. My favorite one to record was probably Dallas. And then my favorite one to listen to is either Dallas or Glass Beach, maybe. Big fan of both of those. This song is called Stop Believing, but this with a bunch of almost spelled out to be like an acronym or something.
Yeah. I mean, we spell it out in the song, so yeah. Like, that's the title.
Now, is this meant to be a direct call out to Journey?
Yeah, I would say the point of view of the band is to stop believing, not to don't stop believing.
Yeah.
So, and especially I don't know, the resurgence of that song in my adult life as a pop culture touchstone
because of Glee.
It just because of The Sopranos.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
I was kind of I never liked the song, and all of a sudden it was just jammed down on me more and more. And it's there it is on another TV show. There it is on this or that, whatever thing. There it is at the baseball game. And it's just I don't know. I don't really like that song. It doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't say anything to me. And yet it's supposed to be something that I participate in along with everyone else in this jovial manner. And I'm just I don't know.
Sure.
It means nothing to me.
Because Sopranos, Glee, and then the Rock of Ages movie came out. And just a lot of Don't Stop Believing. This one is Big Blink Distraction.
This one is another one where it was as soon as we recorded it, I was oh no, this isn't a lot.
Oh yeah?
There's just a lot of words, and it's goes off in every direction.
How do you drum that fast?
Echo, I have caused Echo a lot of distress with the tempo marks on our songs. But and I also obviously when you're drumming really fast, you're kind of usually taking down the volume level to just be able to hit fast enough. And I'm always no, you got to hit harder. It has to be loud. It can't feel soft. And so I've definitely tormented the shit out of Echo with being this one's 205 BPM and it's gonna have 8th note hi-hats, and it's
nope. I can't even begin to play that fast.
He has very gamely been I'll figure it out, and he's always figured it out.
We have a song at 180 that I need to do 8th notes.
Yeah.
And I'm already struggling with that.
I mean, I feel songs that are really fast, it's easier to get the pocket, because the notes fly by so fast, it's easier for it to feel good. Slower songs, so it's more forgiving, I feel
Well, slower songs, though, if you lock in, they feel amazing, though.
Yes, but that's just the hardest thing to do in music at all, is to get a bunch of people playing together at a really low tempo.
This song is called Crud.
Yeah, this is another one of the original couple of songs that we wrote when we were still trying to figure out what the band was supposed to sound like. Appreciate the love for the going for my own jugular lyric. That one was one that was just in my notes, appeared exactly like that. And I was we're going to have this break in this song, and this phrase is just long enough to say in that break.
And Overzealous says, "What's your favorite cheekface song to record or listen to, William?" Yeah. I don't know. As far as listen to, it's probably a tie between like Crying Back, Call Your Mom, and probably Dry Heat Nice Town. I really like Dry Heat Nice Town a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Crying Back and Call Your Mom, those are album cuts.
Yeah.
I was surprised when somebody says that they're their favorites. I mean, we're proud of them, but
Yeah.
I was very self-conscious of my slide guitar playing, which is not excellent. So I cannot remember if this took a lot of takes or if I was just like, this is as good as it's going to be, like, take it or leave it. And I think it was like, we'd already done the like Moog solo twice and we were like, we don't want to like overuse that sound. So it feels like it comes back every 2 songs.
Oh,
So
sure.
just a plain old guitar solo, but playing that one live, I sing the guitar solo, which is, you know, in some ways the way I wish we would have recorded it.
Wait, so you don't even play it on guitar?
Well, I play the chords.
Oh, sure. You play guitar. Oh, because you're a 3-piece. Yeah.
And now we're on the second to last song. And again, like, what if we were a band that was like spaghetti Western core instead of what we are?
And this is Liar Island. Yeah, there's a thin line between spaghetti Western and like surf rock.
Yeah. I mean, I
they
think
borrow very similar tones.
Yeah, I think those genres like kind of evolved together too, right? Like those new wave movies where the like, you know, those were being made at the same time as like surf rock was like surfacing in culture. But this was definitely, I think, it was definitely one where it was like, I was like, let's try a song in a minor key, and Mandy was like, let's try a surf rock song, and I was like, all right, here it is, minor key surf rock. But this one was done with like a real old school Echoplex machine with like the literal tape loop delay. That was really fun. I've never played with one of those before, where you like see the tape running on the top of the machine.
Yeah.
Super fun. And I think Echo, I remember in the studio being like, he said like, I wasn't sure if what the album was going to sound like or be cool, if it was going to be cool sounding. And then like, once the like Echoplex box was out and this guitar part was like being made, I felt like the album was going to be really cool.
Hell yeah.
So
it's
glad
a great
we were able
lead
to win over Echo, the drummer in the band.
And all of the higher voices, is that Mandy?
That's all Mandy, yeah.
Yeah. On both records?
Yeah.
Cool. I figured. But I just thought I'd clarify.
Yeah, a lot of the ooh-ah backup vocals come in, are written before the melodies. So
really?
So we kind of write the songs or with them as part of the instrumental bed. I
was actually about to ask if they were like, if you go in and like lay down like an ad-lib track afterwards or something, or...
There's actually like surprisingly not a lot of improvisation. Like a lot of people are like, oh, the words sound like they're improvised off the top of your head. And I'm like, well, no, they're like all pretty written and kind of considered, like, even though they're not like, linear narrative.
That's so funny because like, well, I felt kind of the opposite about your lyrics. Like they don't feel very like stream of consciousness to me, but it's funny because Brandon, I said that to her last week, that like her lyrics feel kind of stream of consciousness, but I meant they feel and like, but are also so obviously deliberate. So it's funny because your writing styles are so different, but like I could say the same thing for both of you. And this is the last track, Once a Day.
Yeah, so this is a song that I first heard not long before we went into the studio to record the album. It's written by a guy named Whispering Bill Anderson, who's still alive. It was a song he wrote in the early 60s. He's like contemporary of Willie Nelson, Nashville songwriter. And I heard it for the first time. It was a recording by Connie Smith. And I was just like, you know, this old school country song, early 60s, classic country Politan sound, really lush, really beautiful. And like her vocals incredible. And I was like, holy shit, like how did this song become like this lost gem that like that I'd never encountered in my life? And then I looked it up, and it like was the number one song on the country charts in like 1962 for like 6 months, and is like the most popular country song by a solo woman performer up until Taylor Swift. Like the only bigger country hits by a woman have been Taylor Swift songs. So what? This is like,
wait, country music, not even like Reba McEntire or Dolly Parton?
Exactly. So if you like country music, you know this song because it's like literally like I Want to Hold Your Hand. It's just like I grew up in Southern California where people don't listen to country music, and so like I never encountered this song. And then when we put the song on the record, like half the response was like, wow, this song is so genius. How did you write it? And I was like, I didn't write it. And half of them were like, oh, my grandma listens to this song all the time.
Wow.
So anyways, Once a Day. Connie Smith is the famous recording written by Bill Anderson, who's still around. And Bill Anderson has had like a number one song in every decade since the 60s. Like just big time, like pillar of American songwriting history.
Wow. Well, damn, that we did it. I don't know. We got a quick minute. Let's knock out We Need a Bigger Dumpster.
Yeah, let's do the dumpster song.
Is that just what you call it, the dumpster song?
That's what I started calling it.
Pretty easier than saying we need a bigger dumpster every time. All right, we're going to do this really quick. It's We Need a Bigger Dumpster. It's by Cheekface. It's the newest single. I just wanted to listen to it because I love it a lot. And you recorded in your home, right?
Yeah, this was a quarantine record.
Yeah, this is a quarantine song we got here. We Need a Bigger Dumpster. I'm just going to go into it. Are you ready, Greg?
I'm ready.
Okay. Again, hit play when I say go after the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Be with other people like me. I only wanna be with other people like me.
I love one note that doesn't change.
Yeah. It's very effective. It reminds me of that Kanye West song.
I always think of I Want to Be Your Dog by Iggy Pop.
Yep.
It definitely has that.
Bigger, need a bigger dumpster. Guys, the pre-chorus and the chorus on this one are, I think, some of your best work.
Thank you so much.
Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is.
More DI guitar here.
It's great.
We hate amps.
Yeah, fuck amps.
Friendship ended with amps. DI is my friend now.
Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is. The space. That classic verse 2 drop down to just drums and bass.
I mean, so the song was the original loop that we wrote the song around was actually the part that became the guitar solo. And we tried to write over with the guitar part in, and then we were just like, no, it's like too busy.
Yeah.
And then we just muted the guitar, wrote the song, and then we were like, guitar solo, what are we gonna do? Oh yeah, the guitar part that we already had.
Yeah. Bigger, we need a bigger dumpster. Everything is fine, everything is fine. Also, the rhythm that you have in the guitar part, and this is like something that you do really well with Cheekface. It's like the chords themselves are catchy, and then the rhythm that you're strumming them in is also very catchy as well.
Thanks. That's honestly something that I don't even really think about, other than like, you know, like I said, when we're writing, we're usually like, let's find the pocket, and I guess, you know, that does sit in the pocket. But other than that, it's kind of like, is it in the pocket? Yes or no? If yes, then proceed.
Great guitar tone here too.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it.
It is the neck. No, it's the bridge pickup on my Telecaster.
Now we need a bigger dumpster and some matches.
Yeah, and Alex Newport, who mixed this, we went back and forth trying to get that drum solo to sound sufficiently like it was just punching you in the face over and over again. And I was just like, man, it needs to sound like a baseball bat hitting a piece of meat. Like, and then it was like, it came back louder but not loud enough, and I was like, no, like New Order Blue Monday, and it came back louder. And I was like, all right. And I was like, what about like the orgy cover of New Order Blue Monday? And then it was like, there it was.
All right. Well, it's great. I love that song. Much. Yeah. It's been so nice having you on. It was nice to meet you, but also, it was nice to hear your thoughts on these albums that I've been pretty much constantly listening to for the past few months. And yeah, this is a great one. I think more than like Home is where I found so recently and fell in love with that album, but you're different because I've had time. Like you and like Dogleg have been different because I had time to really like sit with the records, and this is just a cool experience. I'm so glad you agreed to be on here.
I'm really glad you invited me, and honestly, I'm really glad that you like the songs. It really means a lot.
Hell yeah!
And like, I'm grateful for your thoughtful questions and your, and the fact that you care about the records. It's really cool.
Well, is there any, last thing you wanted to say? It doesn't have to be related to your band or anything, but just
buy a fucking Glass Beach record, buy a fucking Glass Beach t-shirt, subscribe to the fucking Glass Beach Twitch. Don't be stupid and not subscribe to the Twitch. Just put some money in the tip jar, support Glass Beach. We need Glass Beach to become famous for those of us who don't want to be famous, because we need some people who stand for something good to be popular,
but not too popular.
Well, as popular as Glass Beach wants to be. I support Glass Beach becoming as popular as Glass Beach wants to be, and no more popular than that.
All right. Well, thank you. And I'll echo that in a different direction. Support Cheekface. Listen. We'll bring you to Cheekface's Bandcamp and also to their merch. Don't pre-order too many of the jerseys. I still want one, but I'm kidding. Go for it.
We'll keep the jerseys in print. Now we can do that. So
sure. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Buy as many freaking jerseys as you want. William will still get one too.
Oh my gosh, Till 2002 gifted a 1-tier sub to Glass Beach Band's community, and that sub got gifted to me. Thank you. Now I'm subbed to Glass Beach Band. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's very lovely. What a way to end the stream. Thank you, everybody. I promise it's good because I often like go back and I like check stream information and stuff, and I have to wait for like 45 seconds for an ad to play. So you know what? I really do appreciate it. I do love it. I love it. Thank you. And thank everybody for checking this out. Continue spinning cheekface and streaming and everything after this. I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd already been a fan of theirs, oh my gosh, Overzealous just gifted a sub to cheekface.
Yes. Wow.
Glass Beach. Oh, thank you, Glass Beach Band. Gifted a tier 1 sub to Small Red Boy. Wow, here we go. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go to the listening screen. They'll still be able to hear you, Greg, but they won't be able to see you anymore.
Okay, bye.
Thanks.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
And you can't even. I'm going to finish out the stream here. I just want to go back to the Abolish the Police shirts. We are still doing this. It's an !listen in the chat. Nope. !abolish in the chat will take you to the landing page for the shirts and also the raffle, the sign raffle. That's the design for the shirt there, you can see. And then we have the vinyl. It is the glow in the dark and test presses, the winner of the raffle. And you can enter as many times as you want. It's $5 for 1 ticket. I think it's like $20 for 5 tickets and $35 for 10 tickets. Yeah, but you can enter. We were debating between making it a raffle and an auction. And we decided on the raffle because, like, even though either way, if you have more money, you have a better chance of getting it. At least with a raffle, like, if somebody, say, doesn't have any money at all and puts in $5 for 1 ticket, there's still a chance that they could win it. And that just felt better to us, even though it's all going to charity and like stuff anyway. But like, we just wanted to kind of give more opportunities for people who aren't sitting around with buttloads of money. So hopefully, you know, you've got maybe like $5 laying around. I will say, I mean, like, if we have like 9,000 followers on Twitter, which I mean, like, is a number that doesn't make any sense, and that stuff is weird. But even if like half of those, even if 1,000 people, 1,000 of our followers all like bought 1 raffle ticket, that would raise $5,000 for these organizations. And I think that would be, I mean, we don't need to hit that number. I'm not going to be like, oh, come on. But I think if you got $5 extra laying around, we would really appreciate it. So, yep. !abolish in the chat. That's going until tomorrow. And what is not going until tomorrow is a stream, because I'm ending it. So goodbye, Greg.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you all so much. This will go up on the second Glass Beach channel on YouTube, and it will live with the rest of the listen-alongs. And next week, I have Pink Shift on to talk about Saccharin. Woo! Woo! Pink Shift, and then Origami Angel, and then Chris Farron, and then Rat Boys. And I'm stacking up more. I'm talking to Bad Moves. I'm talking to Anjimily. I'm talking to a bunch of people. It's going to be cool. Hopefully you come and stick around. Saturdays, noon Pacific. That's it. Goodbye. Goodbye, Greg.
Goodbye, Glass Beach second channel.